right, so patch note review. These are for update 60, which comes out July 26th. So that is tomorrow. A special note, the pre-purchase for Vecna Unleashed is arriving, so you'll be able to pre-purchase the expansion tomorrow, which means it's probably going to come with a lot of other things added in it. Like, as they said here, get immediate access to the Macrotech Epic Destiny with any edition of Vecna. Oh, there you go. It's access with all of them. So the Vecna Unleashed story is, high amongst the Sharn City of Towers, something sinister is afoot in the halls of Morgrave University. The Codex of the Infinite Planes has escaped to the Academy, and with it comes the dark presence of Vecna and his cult. Now with the university's vast collection of rare and powerful artifacts under their control, the destiny of not just Sharn, but the entire Eberron plane hangs in the balance. Do you have what it takes to stop Vecna before he claims your universe for his own? Prepare to explore new areas, face perilous enemies, and uncover dark secrets of Vecna Unleashed. So just, if you didn't watch any of the videos of me doing the quests are amazing, the new monsters are fantastic, and it's some of the best design we've seen in a very long time. So I'm very excited for Vecna Unleashed. Totally worth it. Okay, so general balance and gameplay. Curse of Agony has been nerfed to 60 seconds. This makes sense. You will never encounter this unless you were bugging it out previously. It used to last for like 30 minutes of a debuff, which lets you bug out some raids. So they just fixed that. In normal gameplay, you'll never experience this if you have this effect. The pause at the end of tumbling has been removed. So now you can tumble like it's Dark Souls. Important note, this only works if your tumble check is low enough to not have the flips. The flips actually still have a pause at the beginning of their animation, so they're actually slower. But if you don't have the flips, it's actually faster. So you're less than 30 tumble above 1 tumble is perfect. There are now dances for the Raptor and Panther mounts, which is good. They've done some adjustments to the flow with the quest leads. If you haven't seen this, basically if you talk to a barkeep now in the harbor, they'll tell you about quests. This is really, really cool. So tell your friends if you have people that are getting started. If they're like, I don't know where to find quests, talk to the barkeeps. They will now tell you where to get quests. The system is really well done. Dungeon Alert. They updated Dungeon Alert to change it. So basically there's now a new purple alert. So if you maintain red alert for 30 seconds, which is having, I think it's like 20 monsters or 30 monsters aggroed on you at the same time. If for 30 seconds you get the new purple alert to trigger, and purple alert makes monsters omega strong. Now, important notes, it is very hard to trigger purple alert. I tried it. I had to actually like climb onto a ledge to make it so monsters couldn't get me to trigger purple alert and not fight anything for 30 seconds. It's a very, very long time. So during normal gameplay, you shouldn't be experiencing purple alert. The only people that will be experiencing purple alert is, as they talked about, the people that are not killing any of the monsters in the entire quest, which is then in like the totality of quests, which is then causing the quest to run into issues and problems and stuff. So purple alert is something you will not generally experience. It's basically just the addition there. And lastly, they're apparently increasing the dungeon alert movement speed for monsters, which is fine. It doesn't really matter to me, so that's fine. So then we have Slads no longer spam throw boulders while sliding. I don't know if they fixed it so Slads also have an alignment, because they're currently all neutral. Exalted Whirlwind, Avenging Whirlwind can now work with Be the Whirlwind, which is good. That's the effect out of Fury of the Wild, so that's just a good buff. Acid volumes now do more damage. This is relevant because there's high-level acid. It's basically like, you know how you step in lava, it does damage, and then there's like Sharn lava? There's now going to be like Sharn acid, basically, high-level acid. And there's new favorite awards for all of this stuff. So there you go. You get new favorite awards. Oh, a lot of bugs are fixed. Wrathful Weapons tooltip has been made accurate because it was wrong. Titania's Glory now references the correct helmet in its description. Spelling errors, nothing too crazy here. This Stone Giant that hops in Giant Hold, they fixed it. There was a petition, but petitions don't work, so it doesn't matter. Brogo can climb ladders. Heroic, Epic, and Legendary Ancient Volcorum Dagger are now made of the proper material. Pack Aptitude works! How cool is that? It's a druid spell that makes your hirelings better. It now actually works. Flurry of Blows actually grants its dodge at the correct levels. Also, Flurry of Blows will now work for Paladin, for Sacred Fist, which it wasn't, so that's a good fix. Humanitarian Scavenger, basically the description was wrong. Some collectible turn NPCs have had the descriptions fixed, which is fine. Combat Brute no longer stacks to your weapon forever. There's a lot of bugs in the game where if you TR with a weapon in your hand while you have a buff from an enhancement tree that buffs your weapon, then if you TR, it'll stay on the weapon. That's been removed. Maiming found when randomly generated, and new Nintendo's now only triggers on a critical hit. This is one of the reasons why the Pharaoh Crystal weapons were so good in Heroics, because the maiming was working on everything. It didn't only work on critical hits, it worked all the time. Now that's fixed. Metaline Bond now displays your weapon properly. Again, that's fine. Silver Scale Augment is more accurate, blah, 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 blah. So there's been some fixes to the Ravager tree. Laughter now functions. I don't know if all of it's been fixed, but they did make some things. Hallowed items are now correctly enhancement, which means they will no longer overwrite your spells. So the Seek Eternal Rest spell will stack with a Hallowed item, which is what it was supposed to do in the first place. That's a good fix. Haberdasher fix, I don't know. Consecration now heals hirelings, which is also nice. Consecration used to not heal hirelings and pets, now it does. Power word spells are enchantment. It doesn't matter, they don't have saves, so I don't know what's up with that. Acid Bolt is conjuration. This has no impact on gameplay. It's just a bug fix. Fixed description of Thornblade. Vile Eruption now deals correct damage to Earthquake. Basically, Vile Eruption is now useless, but it doesn't matter. You're still casting Earthquake anyway, because Earthquake is good. But yeah, the actual enhancement is useless. Diplomacy is less buggy. Druid's Dodge. There's a lot of bug fixes. Arcane Tempest less likely to get stuck in enemies forever. Sure. Uncanny Balance now is correct prerequisites. Blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to think if there's anything good that's actually relevant in here. Transcend Darkness can now properly be trained. There's basically an issue where if you couldn't spend points on like different parts of the tree. Basically, it was like issues with the Divine Disciple tree because it goes lefty-righty. It gets really screwy because if you start on the right, it thinks that you have a capstone ability even though you took the level 1, so it won't let you take the capstone. So they fixed that, so now that works. It's a new thing where because they made it so you can't take 2 capstones because of the tome that they've added. There's another Universal Enhancement Point tome. It was a new bug that developed, and now it's going to be fixed. Blossoming Peace now actually works. So Orchid Blossom can now stun. Yay! This didn't work for years. Well, since they released it anyway. Burst of Glacial Wrath now takes Embolden. +2 DCs is good. Other things. Cruel Cut and Mutilate now work. So this is from Ravager. Steal Life Force's heal now properly works. Steal Life Force is a Warlock ability that never scaled properly. It's been, 2016? So it's been 7 years. It works. Is it good? Probably not, but it actually works, which is very cool. Multiclassing into Monk lets you take Spring Attack and 10,000 stars, which is both good. Basically, those have like higher base attack bonuses, but if you took a Monk level later, it wouldn't let you take them because it only lets you take it at Monk level 6. Now it's not going to do that, which is how it's supposed to function, so that's good. Fix some patches, Druid Wild... Oh yeah, the Wild Shape items. That's basically items like the Stone Skin Bracers or whatever, or whatever they're called from Ravenloft. Praise of the Fallen Hero, stuff like that. That say like, oh, they give you physical resistance rating while in Wolf and Bear form. Now it's going to be all wild shapes, so you don't have to worry about just that. Dark Hunter's Bleed the Weak now scales. Yay! This was bugged. It's now fixed. Ravager now gives its hit points. Yay! All right, enemy AI changes. Basically, I'm going to try to summarize this the best I can, which is monsters will now drop aggro against you faster if they can't get to you. So if you're like in a dungeon and you didn't fight a monster and you kind of left it behind, it's not just going to try to chase you through the whole dungeon. Eventually it will give up, which is, they didn't really do that before. Also, when monsters give up aggro on you, they're not going to go back to the beginning of the quest or wherever they were. They're going to just stop where they were and just wait there. And additionally, this is going to make it so that monsters on the landscape also leash better, so they're not going to also continue to chase you. Basically, this is just stuff to make it so that the pathing system is used less, so there'll be less lag throughout the game, because apparently that's one of the major causes of performance issues within DDO, is the pathing system. And then lastly, casters and archers, usually if you get close to them, they will like run away. Apparently they're just going to do that less, so they won't do that as many times. So they'll still walk away, but they're not going to like walk away. They're just going to like walk away from you once maybe, and then they'll just keep attacking you. So those are the enemy AI changes. You shouldn't notice. Basically, these are going to be largely invisible to you. It's mostly just going to be the game is going to perform a little bit better, and also archers will run away less, which is really nice. I like that. Okay, so macro tech. We're not going to go over everything about macro tech, but because I'm going to make an entire video about macro tech and kind of what is good about it and what is bad about it. But here's what you need to know. Macro tech is a offensive spellcaster tree with some tank stuff built in, as well as huge benefits for melee characters. It is one of the best splashable trees in the game, giving amazing cores and amazing low levels, like low hanging fruit, as well as having some good stuff at the top. Not the best stuff, so we're going to talk about that. The cores give everything. Hit points, mana, spell power, melee power, range power, spell DCs. It just literally gives you everything. It's pretty sick. They also give it so you get your meta magic feats if you have them apply to your Rune Arms. A Blade of Armor is better, which is Artificer exclusive, and Rune Arm cash levels get bonus from your epic and legendary knowledge feats, so you get more cash levels, which is kind of good. So it basically makes your Rune Arms better. So, tier 1, so we're just going to focus on some of the big hitters. Things that you're going to want to splash into, you've got blast shields, which is no fail reflex saves on a 1 in a tier 1, which is pretty good. You have PRR and armor class, which is really good. You have sprockets, which gives you, if you have Exalt, Contract Exemplar, Repair Amp, and Physical Resistance rating. Again, for splashing, you have Rune Arm use. This lets anybody use a Rune Arm, and the cast level is based off of half of your character level, which is pretty cool. So it's the Rune Arms are not going to be amazing, but what matters is for all your single weapon fighter paladins, single weapon fighter barbarians, single weapon fighter fighters that didn't have an item for their offhand, now they can just slap a Rune Arm on, which is a whole bunch of free stats, as well as sometimes set bonuses, building into the winter set, building into other things.
Splash in the kiddie pool
so that would be pretty good.
I can't swim well.
Yeah, the tooltips in here are wrong. Just like any other DDO patch notes, they do a lot of copy and pasting, and they don't fix stuff. So whatever I say is correct, and what this says is wrong. So trust me. So that's great. So you're going to see a lot of melees splashing in for this. The Radiant Prison is a no-save, monsters can't do anything for 8 seconds. Really great for Vengeance Reapers and things you don't want to kill. So that's great. And then the multi-selector here, which is the Thunder and Lightning Hammer, which are basically Chaos Hammer, but either electric or sonic. They have no save. So it's just a big AoE damage effect. It's the same damage as Chain Lightning. So very, very useful for any electric or sonic build. Very, very good. And then lastly, we've got Imbue Dice. So what makes this tree good? Why should you use it? One, the Epic Strikes. All these attacks have no save. They're basically explosions around your character. So you got electric damage explosion, sonic damage explosion, or Mending Burst, which is a repair healing explosion. Again, all of these things have no save. So they're really useful on characters where, say you're playing a character like a Sonic-based build, like a Bard, like a Swashbuckler, and you want to build up Sonic spell damage, you want to use the Sonic Imbue, you want to get the Imbue Dice, but you want to do more Sonic damage, but you don't have anything that has DCs on it. You don't have any Evocation DCs because you're in melee. You can stack Spell Power, grab Sonic Boom for the damage, grab Thunder Hammer for the damage, because again, there's no save on either of those things, which is pretty good. Oh yeah, there's also remove ASF if you want. The Mantle effect is basically like the Unyielding Sentinel Mantle, but repair instead of healing amp. So it gives you like defenses, then it gives you a PRR and MRR, more if you have a Rune Arm, and then it gives you more spell power. Also, when you fire Rune Arm, you gain spell resistance. This effect is useless and didn't work, so we'll see. It might work when the game releases, but we'll find out. And then the tier 5, you get hit points while you have a Rune Arm, so it's kind of cool. They also have this drive effect where basically you can upgrade your abilities. So you can take these different drives. So you have all these different drives here that upgrade your character. So it's like, oh, do you want speed drive for double strike or efficiency drive? The name drive matters because in the tier 5, there's an effect called Armor of Legends, where when you cast Epic Mage Armor, which is a bad feat, will now give you untyped armor class. This gives you 32 armor class right away, which is very, very good. And then on top of that, it will now give you a bonus based on your installed drives, like attack speed, movement speed, physical magical resistance rating. All of these things are super, super powerful. So really, really nice, especially if you did use this tank tree. Flash drive is, I believe, the aggro thing. So you get like aggro plus extra PRR, MRR. Again, there's some cool stuff that's actually in here. So it's just neat theming, and it's pretty interesting. And then lastly, we have the Epic Moment, Maximum Overdrive, which just makes you cast fast and do more damage. It's cool. So overall, it's a neat thing. Most people are going to splash this. I think that very few people are going to go tier 5 in this tree, but it's going to be great for splashing, and I'm excited for people to see it. I have some builds set up. I already have an Inquisitive build I'm going to run with this, and it should be a lot of fun, so I'll post that in the coming days. Rune Arm Rebalance. Again, also not going to read into this, but TLDR, Rune Arms were all over the map when it came to damage and how good they were, and so they standardized them. So number one, all the Rune Arms that basically just didn't work, like Light Spirals, where it would just disappear when you fired it, it's because the projectile size was too big and apparently clipped into the ground, and that never got fixed in the entire time it was in the game, so they just made it smaller. So the projectile is smaller, so now it actually works. Crazy. Number two, all the Rune Arms are now split into one of 3 categories. They're either the single target Rune Arm that fires a bunch of blasts at a target, they're the melee AoE Rune Arm, or they're the ranged AoE Rune Arm. And each of those categories has a different damage scaler, and then they all now follow the same formula for damage. So essentially, the single target damage Rune Arms still deal more damage than the AoE Rune Arms at a single target, but the AoE Rune Arms, if you're hitting, I think it's like 3 targets, the damage evens out. So, which makes sense. And they updated all the Rune Arms. Also, they butchered Trash Shot, because it was the best Rune Arm in the game, and so it actually does a comparable amount of damage instead of doing strictly more damage than everything else, which is good. And then UI and engine work. So you can now right-click on a party member in the UI to send them a tell. the future. You can do that in like so many video games. I was shocked you couldn't do that. You can now remove the Rune Arm charge UI element. Instead of it being locked above your character right in the middle of the screen, you can now move it somewhere else if you want, which is fun. And the experience report window has gotten an overhaul. So it doesn't tell you about bravery streaks because bravery streaks are not in the game. People still think there's bravery streaks. I have people asking me on my stream every couple of days. Someone comes in and is like, yo, where's the guy to pause the bravery streak? That has not been in the game for like years. So don't worry about that. There's less white space. It now tells you about the Reaper XP right away. So it tells you not only like how much Reaper XP you're going to get, but also it'll tell it even before you've gotten the kills on it, which is good. So that's all there. So it's all been fixed. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the XP adjustments. Now, before you come to this video and start typing in the comments about how you hate the nerfed XP, because you read the thing, the first post, they've made a lot of changes to what their initial proposal was from the first Lemania. So we're going to read into what this is. What they've changed with this patch. They were originally going to nerf the XP in the game and then move more of the XP into the aggression, onslaught, and conquest bonus to make it so that you had to kill more monsters to get more of the bonus. The end result of which was that a lot of people felt it was going to take them more time to have to do the same thing. My XP goes down, and to get XP back, I have to kill more monsters. They have changed it from that initial proposal, because that was a bad idea, for two reasons. The main reason is that you don't get Conquest in most quests because they're broken. Conquest literally just doesn't work all over the place. It's almost impossible to Conquest in Sharn, Ravenloft, Feywild. Even if you kill every monster, it's like the designers didn't just do that. They just didn't do their job. They didn't put that in the game. So you can't Conquest almost every quest in DDO, even if you kill all the monsters. So that's problem one. And then problem two, even quests where you can get close, it means you have to spend more time going out of your way. So they're changing the system now and how it works without touching the XP. So they're not changing the XP, okay? In terms of like anything else, there's no change in the XP. The XP is going to stay the same. This last line is they're just moving where the XP is, so it's still going to be in your first time bonus, but don't worry about that. They're not changing the XP. Instead, they're just fixing Conquest. They will probably adjust the Conquest XP in the future once they fix Conquest, but their changes are about Conquest. So now, the bonuses in quests for getting kills, aggression, onslaught, and conquest are 33 kills for aggression, 67 for onslaught, and 100 for conquest at a maximum. So for example, if you do Haberdasher, which has 9 monsters, killing all 9 will give you conquest. But if you do a quest like Temple of Elemental Evil, even though there's like 600 monsters, and killing 75% of monsters is what you need to get, you have to kill 75% of the monsters in a quest to get conquest. Instead, once you get to 100, it's just going to be Conquest, even though there's like 700 monsters. Even though you don't even qualify for aggression, you're still going to get Conquest for killing 100. So as a result, as it's going into the game right now, this patch is going to increase the amount of XP you receive pretty much everywhere until they, in the future, make it so all the quests in the game can receive Conquest, because right now, like, almost 2/3 of quests can't get that. At which point then they're going to adjust the experience. So for now, you're basically getting a major XP buff across the entire game that will then be getting reverted to normal in the future. So rejoice. If you want to do leveling fast or doing other stuff, this is the way to go. You're going to be getting a lot more XP from some of the other quests. Now, obviously, not every quest you're still going to Conquest, because you won't be getting a lot of kills in them. So for example, if you're doing like Dead Predators and House Durasco, where you can just skip all the skeleton archers and go to the end, you only have to kill 15 monsters. Yeah, you're not going to Conquest in that quest, and that's true, and that's not going to affect the XP here. However, the high yield quests, all the expansion quests where you weren't getting Conquest before, are now going to suddenly be giving you Conquest. And those ones have like the highest amount of XP, right? The Crucible, where you don't Conquest, congratulations, now you will. And the Crucible is the highest XP quest in Gianthold. So now a quest that you weren't getting all that XP on, now you're going to be getting it all. So it's going to be a huge XP buff. I'm very excited about that. And that's pretty much it. So that's going to be the patch. I'm going to be making a video about the Macrotech, how to use it and what you're going to do with it. So if you need pictures as opposed to this thing here, it'll be a little bit harder. And that's about it. I'm very excited for Vecna Unleashed. I'm stoked. I can't wait to get my hands on it and play it. And we'll check that out when we can. So that should be good. Vecna Unleashed. Anyways, that's enough of that.
What is it this time?
Oh, apparently my characters were like... I didn't pause the game. We were just chilling. Apparently. I saved, and then we were just chilling.